Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We give thanks to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the omnipotent, the omnipresent, for giving us today as another blessed day to sit and discuss issue relating to our society. Welcome to Awoken. And then, as I told you, we are going to follow up our topic nurturing today. We're going to discuss now the way to nurture a teenager. Today is going to be our topic. Our topic. So we're going to emphasize on the teenage age into the society, into the world at large. What is the way parents has to, what do you call it, implement on the child to be a very responsible child, inshallah. And as I told you, we are having Sister Fatima Zahra Alhassan, who is with us last week. She's going to continue with the discussion today, or with the teachings on how to nurture a teenage to become a very responsible personality in our society. As usual, as you know, we always give you insightful and interesting discussion that would help all of us to know how to nurture our children, inshallah. So without much I say, welcome Sister Fatima Zahra
Thank you, Zaida.
to another edition of Awaken. As the, what do you call it, the name of the show goes, Awaken. We need to get awake from what we know is right, but because we are a bit forgetful, or I don't know, dormant in terms of what do you call it, responsibility is affecting our society. So by discussion like this, inshallah, we know Allah will guide us to have a very beautiful and healthy society. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for last week.
You're
You
welcome.
really enlightened us
You're
on,
welcome.
because at that stage, usually the toddler stage, we don't really focus much on nurturing, but at least we had a lot from you that seems to be very important
Yes.
to concentrate on a child. Today, we want to see a child is not a teenage. The stage of difficulty, the stage
Yes.
of confusion, the stage of dicey relating to a child. As a mother or as parents, because I hear like now it has to be both parents, right? What will be the very, what do you call it, first way or measures you think from home we had to start with a teenager when you realize your child is into the teenage stage?
Thank you very much once again for this
You're
opportunity. And you know, to nurse or train our teenagers, we need to provide their physical and emotional needs for them, so as to get the best in them, or to be useful to us and the society. So with the emotional aspect, when you are nursing a child, you are not supposed to be neglecting them. You should always be ready to listen to what the child has to tell you, and make sure you give a proper feedback to the child. Let's take your girl child when she's in the month for the first time. You have to nurse her how to go to it, how to be knitting herself, how to clean herself, and then set boundaries for them. In this stage, you need to know who to relate with, the gender aspect, to know who to relate with. You know, when you go close to a man, this is what will happen to you. So you have to protect yourself from it, so as to get the best in your child, in the society.
Is it going to be a kind of a fearful situation you would tell her relating to the opposite sex?
No, it's
Okay.
it's an inspiration, something you are giving to the child. So it's a cordial relation between the child and the mother or the parents. A man can also do it. That's sometimes when the men are doing it, it helps a lot, because the child doesn't feel like, it's not only my mother, my father also knows it. So
Yeah.
it builds the child.
Exactly.
You understand? So you teach her all this, and then how to dress, especially Islamically, how to dress. You don't go nude. She has to package herself well. And when you come to the boys aspect, when the boy get to teenage, these days you see them with this autofista,
Yeah.
some dreadlocks. No one is saying dreadlocks is no good. I don't really
Yeah, you don't really have a
have a
negative
negative
stand
stuff
for
about
it.
it, but
Yeah.
it should be more respectful way. You just
Yeah.
don't do it anyhow. Sometimes you are just a good person, but the way you carry yourself, they see you as
Exactly.
a rascal or
Appearance
something.
tells
Yes.
about
And
you
then
a lot.
when the children comes and you neglect them, you don't know the peers they meet outside. So they go to join other peers, seek some knowledge, some opinions from them. This is what puts some of the girls to be sleeping with men, excuse me to say it, and the guys also join some gangsters. You go to the ghettos and be taking hard drugs and other stuff. But if you yourself, you train your child, you inspire your child, you want your child to be the best, you yourself be the example for your child. If you set an example, when the child looks at you, this is how my father is, this is how my mother is, let me try and be them as they are nurturing. But if you yourself, you are telling the child, you are not doing it, it goes out and it will be for the society,
Exactly.
not you. Because you will not get what you want from the child.
You just brought this question to me. You just said that if you want your child to be a very good person in the society,
Yes.
you should set an example for the child.
Yes.
So in this case, even you being a mother or a father, it is a kind of situation is compelling you to have a good character so that
Yes.
your child can look upon you to
Yes.
become,
Yes.
which is so important.
Yes.
You've just given us, I want to emphasize on the emotional aspects of it.
Yeah.
And I think with all true stance, it's something we lack in our society.
Yes. Yes.
We usually lack that connection with children in our
yes.
society.
Yes. Yes.
You hardly see in our society a mother should even like verbally open the mouth to say, "Oh, my baby," in as much as she is
Yes.
in a
Yes.
teenage,
Yeah.
"I love you so much.
Yes.
Let me just kind of like kiss you or something."
Yes, yes. You know, they have this perception that it's only, excuse me, rich children, they treat them like that. Who
That
said,
is where the question
who said
comes.
rich children? Everybody's rich in his or her own
Yeah.
home. You understand? It's the way you carry yourself. It's the way you carry yourself. So you get up your kid, you peg him. What do you need? He tells you, you provide to your standard.
Absolutely.
You provide for the child.
Yeah.
So you get the best out of your child. So in future, you are going to be proud of your child. But from the infancy, if you don't give the child the best and he gets to the teenage aspect, it will be very difficult for you to get the child the way you want.
So now I see what we discussed last week is
yes.
reflecting here.
Yes.
Because from the infancy kind of nurturing,
Yes.
that would get the child into what you call it, the stage of teenage.
Yes.
So it's going to reflect.
Reflect.
It's not that we're doing it just
No,
for doing sake.
no. It's from the infancy.
Okay, it's like a continual what do you call
yes.
it? Yeah, process.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so here you've already gotten what you want into the teenage,
Yes.
but need to more emphasize
Yes.
when the person is.
Yes.
There's
But
this
you need to also set boundaries.
Yes, there's
for the
these
children.
challenges with the
Yeah.
teenage.
Yeah.
You know, usually when a child get into his teenage stage, he
Yeah.
or she thinks that she's very smart. So as parents, how do you cope with that naiveness kind of smartness according to a teenage?
So that all depends on how you brought the child up.
Yeah.
All depends. It's a processing something. So from this stage, he goes to this stage. So if you want to do this, you go back to the previous lesson you gave to the child. So we use that one to implement the future. You understand? So if he's being smart, it's like you do not even give him the best from the beginning, because he will go outside and learn something there and come to play smart on you. But as far as you have some cordial relationship with your child, you have been discussing things together. He even bring that one close to
To
you.
you, for you to know the
To know-
damages
yes,
or the
yes.
risks
Even if somebody will just
outside.
be playing and touch him or her, he will tell you.
Because
I have
you've
some.
given her the open, what do you
Yes.
call it, open arms
Yes.
always together
Yes.
with you.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
very important.
Yes.
You
Yes.
just stated he goes out and learns something and bring
They are
it
always
back.
with their peers.
So let's talk about society.
No.
Now, the word society.
Yes. Yes.
I remember in our infancy, I remember when we were so young,
No.
the society was a kind that when you go out and you misbehave, another person's mother can discipline you right away without even knowing your mother. And it was a norm in our society.
Yes. Yes.
But they said generation comes and it
It doesn't
changes.
work like that these
Exactly.
days.
So
If you
I
joke,
think
you go to the police station.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we don't have that system. Another person's mother cannot what do you call it, discipline another person's
Yes.
child.
Yes.
So now I think it's going to be an extra job for the
You have to be 100% concerned of your word.
because we don't have that what do you call it, that helpful from society.
Yes, even these days, you can even trust someone can take care of your word, not knowing he is going to spoil the child for you.
Subhanallah.
You are just living a fake life.
Mm.
He just smile on you, but from the heart, it's not like that. Maybe he thinks you are going up, you are succeeding, or you are being successful. Why am I not being that? That is hubud dunya, like the world
the love
has
for the
eaten
world.
into us.
Yeah.
So these days we don't go contrary to what is expected of us.
So let me put it this way. Is it the society itself that is transforming into this way,
Yes.
or we, the human in it, that has changed the norm of the society?
Say that these days, especially this our Zungu community, any slightly program that comes becomes a fashion. And that is where the children learn from. So you will see these days, you see a Muslim lady showcasing herself, thinking it's a fashion, something doing. So if you are able to nest your child what Islam is expected of the person, you would rather go and be educating people there. But if you don't concentrate or be on your child fully, he will go and learn and come and tell you. He will not even mind you when he says something. So all is from the charity to the tender state, to the teenage state. If the person is able to be inspired as you expect, you get what you want from your child. But if you fail to do so, you just be regretting.
Let's
and thinking,
emphasize.
because we learn from the society.
Absolutely. So
The
let's
society-
emphasize more on this society.
Yes, so I urge our parents, we the parents, to try our best doing it in our various homes, and then when we go outside the house, to before you get to the community, you have a family, so you start from the family before you get to the community. So if the family is 100% secured, when you go, you are just going to add up in the community. Most of the time they pick from the community to the house.
To the house.
Yes. So if you fail in the house and the person goes out, you go and learn from there. So when we come to the community too, our scholars are supposed to awake us on what Islam teaches us about. These days we don't hear. When we start, we hear, hey, the fornication is forbidden. You don't do this, you don't do that. These days you don't even hear those kind of preaching from our scholars.
So do we say the society itself has failed us?
Our Zongo community has failed in nurturing the children.
MashaAllah.
So it's a time we really have to amaze it.
Yeah.
And the best way we can do this, fine, the parents has to do, but our scholars, our imams, our sheikhs,
Yes,
our
yeah.
teachers, our malams, from the makaranta programs, wherever we meet, we should try to inspire or to try to nurse the children what Islam is expected of us. We should try, because these days I don't know whether the youth, now is the youth too that are promoting the scholars. So it's the youth, because this one say,
Mashallah.
this is my sheikh, my imam, so he does this for the imam. So whatever he does, sometimes the imam feels difficult to tell the person
The truth.
the truth,
I'm not
because
getting
if I
from-
do it, I'll not be seeing this boy again. Oh, he does this for me, does that for me. No, when you do that,
So many, even most of the ulama are failing into their work
yes.
on how they are supposed to do it.
Yes, most. Because the children or the students are looking on to them. So even if the student is looking on the imam or his malam or his teacher, and the teacher is doing something that is perfect, but he has also learned something he's doing, and the teacher is not talking about it, he think it's right for him to do.
Exactly. At least because you are the mouthpiece of the society, and if you don't say it, how
Yes.
can people also realize what they are doing is wrong?
Yes. So
Yeah.
what I'm suggesting, they should try and create a center for the youth, for it to be educating them on how to relate with their peers, how to relate with their parents, and then how to educate Islam.
No. Because when the child get into the teenage stage, her life is mostly out of the house more than the house.
Yes.
So here, the society has to be part of this nurturing.
Yes.
And this is what you've given us, that the ulama, as one of our peace, what you call our mouthpiece, are even failing
Yes.
on their duty.
It's very, very important.
And it is.
I can't remember the last time I heard something about that.
Yeah, it's
I
very...
myself, I can't remember the last time that you go, children are there, there's a program, they have deliver what they are supposed to deliver, but the advice they give to the world, you will not pick something like, oh, you guys should try not to be, your dress, even the modesty, how to dress.
Meaning the ulama has forgotten the society.
Yes, the society.
In what they do as preachers.
Take a girl child. Yes, a girl child who is going to get married now. You see the person is happy, I'm going to get married very soon, I'll be a bride, whatever.
But the main reason why
she's getting the marriage, she doesn't
even know. Subhanallah, and it's scary.
Yes, in as much as this, our fellow religion people, they even have a counseling before they go into marriage. Let's take it a home that a girl was not educated on how to stay with her husband. So fine, if she didn't get that from the beginning, we the Muslim community has to have a center that we do that. So you go.
Should be part of the norm.
It should be part of the norms.
If one is getting married, very important.
You get counseling even a month before. And you start practicing it even in the house before you get into the marriage. So that the person, where you go, he will know how to cope with the husband even before he starts making babies.
Mashallah.
So he came empty.
Exactly.
What is he going to give to the husband or the children?
Exactly. That is really a very great challenge.
We are supposed to get married and give birth to children. There's a responsibilities you are supposed to do.
Absolutely.
You are not just getting married, giving children.
Mm-hmm. So I think that will be where the problems start. You see, we are having a very destructive, what you call this, issue in our society, specifically our Zongo society, which I think some youth has taken it upon themselves to have this campaign relating to taking of hard drugs. I sat down one day deeply relating to this issue. I remember, as we say, when we were young, we know there are these, these hard drugs taken. But I remember those times, it was this weed.
Yes.
It was this weed that, and it will be very difficult to see a child or a teenage even taking this weed. And even with that, they usually would take it in ghettos.
Yes.
Where you can't even see it.
Yes.
And then I remember the government was then doing something very laudable by bringing into whoever is found taking it will be even caught.
Yes.
You remember, like the police people get. I remember when we were this young.
These days.
But you understand how we say the society has failed us, or we have failed the society. I don't know which is which. But what is happening presently, it's very heartbreaking. Heartbreaking in the sense that the stage at which these kids are taking the hard drugs, it's really very sad.
Yeah, so we have to bring back.
And this kind of hard drugs wasn't before.
Yes.
I don't know. The one in this present said, Chale, is out of hands.
Someone will be walking, the person will just be sleeping. Yes, he'll be walking, he'll just be dozing.
And this is all part of these hard drugs.
Yes.
Not to talk about what it's doing to their brain as human, to their system as human, distracting you from the beginning.
Yes.
It's very sad and very, what you call it, scary. Scary because of the ages they are into it.
Yeah,
Most
wow.
of them are into the teenage
Ya
stages.
salam. Ya salam.
So, in your way of thought as a mother, what do you think this problem has to face to like curb this situation?
That's what I said. To curb this situation, we have to educate them. You know, educative is a setup for us. So when there's a center that they educate them, it will really help. It really, because I believe everybody have a leader.
Absolutely.
Even those smoking and whatever, they have their leaders.
Mhm.
And their leader also have a leader. So when they are being educated, when they are emphasize how bad it is to them, it's going to help. And it's based on our scholars. I'm still on them. Because if that now we don't even have any institutes in our Zongo community that you can point out, this is where I will go. I'm facing these issues. I'm going.
Yeah, a kind of counseling institute.
Counseling
Yeah,
institutes.
we don't have
So
exactly.
we are supposed to get it.
It's very important.
Yes, we are supposed, and then we are supposed to also stand up on those areas they are doing those hard drugs. We are supposed to go to.
But relating to kids like the teenage kids, do you blame them 100% for being into that situation?
That one too will be from the house.
Absolutely.
It will be from the home the person is coming from. When you see a person smoking or a child smoking, you should ask yourself, which house is the child coming from? How are the parents? How are they relating? What do they do? They themselves, what are they taking in? So when you look at the parents and you see it goes with what the child is doing, then it means it's from home. So my major problem or suggestion is that we need more education.
The ulama has to be on their feet.
Yes, we need more education. We need more education. They don't just have to leave us. We are all being lectured though. Even our
Absolutely.
parents that are home that are grown up are still being lectured, because it is said 2 heads are better than one.
Absolutely.
So we need to help each other.
yeah.
So we are pleading. Our scholars, our ulama, they should just be on their feet to assist. If not, what is coming or what is happening these days is an eyesore.
So I think I second you. So we are pleading with the ulamas. You are the mouthpiece of the society. And then as leaders of society, I think whatever we want to do, when we face the leader, as you explained, I think it would be of helpful situation. But other than that, I think Zango is becoming a very scary location to nurture your kids. That is the fact. In as much as Sister Fati is educating us how to do it from the infancy, we still need the intervention of our ulama into it. So now, let me come back to one dicey situation. If a child go wayward, do we like? I just asked the question, but I want to really
Yes.
Yes. Do we see the child to be what do you call it, as a curse for the society, or rather we had to take it back to the parents? Because let me in an instant, some parents can do better, but yet still the child goes wrong. Do you think they did that? They did the best for the child to go wrong, or you still will blame the parents? Because you know there are instances parents will say like, we've done our best, but still we can't. Must it be that what do you call it, excuse from a parent?
Say that yes, it shouldn't be an excuse.
Good.
The parent, they did not try.
Good.
Yes, if they were to give their best, they'll get their child the way
They want it.
Yes. It's because some parents are saying they did their best. They didn't start earlier.
Mashallah.
So from the beginning, it will be very difficult for you to nurse your child from the beginning, and you will not get the best character out of your child.
So this is where the nurturing from infancy becomes
It's
very important.
It's
Oh, okay.
very, very important.
Okay.
It's very,
So,
very
like
important.
instances like that, parents who said we've done our best, but still the child has gone wayward,
Yes.
meaning they didn't begin it from the
Yes.
infancy
Yes.
stage.
So there are those who threw them to the community.
And the community has also take his part to nurture
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Mashallah.
Yes.
Okay, so as a mother again, how do you see is important to try to bring your child closer to you when he's already into this situation? Like the child has already got distracted with society.
Yes.
What are the challenges as a mother to try to bring it back again? Because other mothers will say, what do you call it? I don't have a refuse dam, I'll go and dump my child. Whatever the situation is, my child. Okay, in this situation, how do you bring it back to be on the right track?
What you couldn't do from the beginning, you can try doing it.
Okay.
So you bring your child back to you. You don't have to neglect them.
Is there any mechanism specific for that?
So that one, it's still on the education. You still have to educate your child. You have to. That's why I'm saying that if we have this education centers in our community, you can decide to take your child there.
Wouldn't I say the lack of emotional aspects of nurturing also cause this kind of thing? Not really the physical, but the emotional aspect of what you call it nurturing.
You don't
We, we,
listen.
we lack that thing. It's hardly in a zongo to see a child like when the person is going to school, the mom will kind of like peg the person, I love you, go and
That's
come.
what I'm saying.
It's
So
not-
you bring
yeah.
the person close to you
Okay.
and try to listen to whatever the person is saying. You just pretend as if you are even into what he's doing,
okay.
but you have your own ways of taking him out of what he's doing.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So you can, mommy, maybe today we went like his days, just come, take him to yourself. Even you can even try. Feed your child. It's your child. A child can never be older than the parent.
Absolutely.
No matter whatever you are still under your mother.
Mm.
You can still take the baby like take your child like he's still a
A
baby.
baby.
And then keep trying. Keep trying. You will get it the way you want. And we shouldn't forget our prayers.
Mashallah, that's
We
one
shouldn't
very
forget
aspect. And I like the
our-
word keep trying.
Yes.
So it's going to be like a process.
A process.
And a way of nurturing a
If all
child.
things be equal, your
Inshallah,
child
will
can
come
be
back.
changed. Yes.
Mashallah.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is the chance that as a parent, we don't have excuse. The word that parents usually used to say, I've done my best, but it's still not the way I want it. It's not an excuse. Sister Fatima has given us the method because you feel to take the person from infancy. You lack that, what you call it, you've lost the child on a way.
Yes.
You can still bring him back.
Yes.
She said, and don't forget prayers and then keep trying. I like the word keep trying.
Yes.
So I think our time is almost done.
Yes.
Let's see. Do you have any inspiration we can look upon as parents to help us nurture our children? In as much as in terms of religion, Allah has given us the best creations,
Yeah,
right? The
right.
Prophet and his family.
Yes.
And I think there's nothing we want we wouldn't get from them.
Sallallahu
Wa
alaihi
alaihi wasallam. So in any way of their life that we can reflect it into our way of nurturing.
Yes.
As last week, I remember you
yes.
educated us to say they are perfect. We cannot be like them.
Yes.
But at least they are our way of getting inspiration.
Yes. When we take Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam and Nana Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha, the way they nest their children, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein and Sayyidah Zainab, the way they nest them, they should be our inspiration. They should be our inspiration. In as much as they are perfect from the origin. They are masum. But still their parents nurtured them.
How much more we?
How much more we? So we should get to know who Nana Fatima was, she and her husband, and how did they nurse their children. Today, everybody is saying Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, they are our leaders.
Inshallah.
Waiting for us in Jannah.
Inshallah.
When did they just become our leaders?
No.
They were nursed. And they should be our role models. Nana Fatima is the best woman on earth and the hereafter.
Mashallah.
But she still nursed her children. There was even a time that she even prayed with her children, and then while after prayers, she raised up her hands and she was reciting dua. She did not even recite it for herself and her family. She was reciting it for her neighbors.
That's beautiful.
When her kids asked her that, we have to pray for them. The more you are doing it for them, Allah Himself is
We're
doing it for you. So that child has
Wow.
picked that from there. So do you think this child is going to be wayward? He has
Never.
learned something perfect from the mother. That one alone is enough for us.
So I think from what you've explained to us, Fatima has taught us not to think of us alone.
Yes.
Importantly, to our neighbors and
Yes.
others.
Yes.
And automatically, when you're doing that, Allah will just
Yes.
respond to your
Yes.
prayers.
Yes. And she being departed, leaving Zainab and her brothers, because of the way she learns how to talk to the brothers, not them alone, to the society, to the community. She should set an example. So she was a mother.
Yeah.
You know, it's origin.
Exactly.
From Sayyidah Khadija to Fatima to Sayyidah Zainab to all the infallibles.
Mashallah.
So Sayyidah, we have a package that we should be proud of.
I don't think we have excuse.
Yes, we don't have any
relating
excuse.
to Allah giving us the best creation. I don't think
Yes.
we have excuse.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what will be your last advice? Because inshallah, our next meeting here is going to be the parents, being the man of the house, to come here and also share their way of raising children, because it's not going to be the woman alone. I'm going to bring a man.
Yes,
So what
inshallah.
would be your last advice to your fellow women mothers?
My message
And wrap
or
up
my
message on how
Yes,
to nurture.
yes, how to nurture. We have said a lot
Yeah.
about it, and I'm still emphasizing on education. We need to educate them, and sometimes too, we have to let the children set their own norms, their own goals, and help them to achieve it.
Yeah.
You don't always have to be, well, a child, you do that. Try to listen to the person's opinion, and then also help the person to achieve it. It's also going to help.
Inshallah.
You don't have it to be always what you want.
Okay.
If you force the child to do that, maybe you go wayward, because what he wanted to do, you did not allow the child to do it. So we should be more educative, and then also give them space, in as much as we have to query them, but we have to be giving them space to be expressing themselves and help them to implement on what he or she wants to do.
Thank you so much. We are really grateful we come to another end of this insightful and an interesting topic, nurture. As I said, our next meeting is going to be a man into the studio to give us to give us their way of nurturing as men and the family, to raise a very good personality into our society. Before we go, please, our ulama, Sister Fatih has emphasized your weakness in our society. You are our mouthpiece, and we need you so much to curb a lot of distractions in our society, to have a very healthy society and produce good personality for the country and the world at large. Thank you so much, Sister Fatima Zahra, for educating us and then inspiring us with the best infallible creatures on this earth.